People use the phrase Nebraska values, but they don't always define it. I think you could define it by looking at Matt Williams.
I think Matt Williams epitomizes the business community. He's a man of integrity. If he tells you he's going to do something, he does it.
His legacy in business and financial management is absolutely huge, but I'm guessing that there's a lot more than just that, and that it's his leadership, it's the people that he has mentored and helped develop along the way, it's the relationships that he's built outside of his banking world that really are going to be the legacy that he has left to this great state.
I'm from Gothenburg. I was born and raised right here in this wonderful community. My family's been here for a long time. My great-grandfather and his wife moved to this area in the 1890s, and in the early 1900s, actually 1902, he started what was then Gothenburg National Bank. It turned into Gothenburg State Bank in 1917, and my grandfather was involved with it. My father served as president of our bank until his death in 1973, and that's when I came back and began my career. One of the things my father had done is surround himself with really, really good people. And I will tell you that to me is still the key to leadership, is finding the right people to surround yourself with. And when I came back here, there were three people in particular, Dean Kugler, Ron Richer, and Dwayne Oliver, that were willing to take me under their wing, learn the principles of banking and what we do here, and made my career and that transition much easier than it could have been.
A bank is a reflection of its community, and a community is a reflection of the quality of the bank in that community. And Matt just sort of embodies that. And that's making things happen in your community. That's not only growing the bank, but growing people's dreams and lives within your community. So he expressed that, and I think did it in a way that people could relate to. And we're really grateful to him for that.
Following the 80s and moving on from that, as banking improved, I had the opportunity to get involved with association work.
To see somebody be elected by their peers as the chairman of the Nebraska Bankers Association shows the respect and the high esteem he was held in by his peers in this industry, in this state. But then to go on to be elected chairman of the American Bankers Association is a huge accomplishment. It's a huge honor. You wouldn't expect a banker from Gothenburg, Nebraska to be in that role, right? And yet there's something so wonderful about that, and something so wonderful about somebody like Matt playing that role.
I was serving on the board during the Great Recession, so to speak, of 2008 and 9. And following that time period, it was a difficult time for the banking industry. Banks and bankers were being criticized. And at that period of time, I sort of became the voice of the banking industry nationally to help encourage bankers to continue to be involved and rebuilding the relationships that had been strained between banks and the regulators. And I spent a great deal of time doing that and feel really good about what we were able to accomplish. I was spending my time talking to bankers about being involved and not giving up on these situations, that we need to be proud to be bankers. And I finally realized I wasn't just talking to those bankers. I was talking to myself, that it was time for me to realize that there was an opportunity that I could bring back some of the expertise that I had learned traveling across the country and bring that back and be a vital part of making policy for the future.
I served on 2 committees with Matt. I don't know of anybody in the legislature that understood their bills better than Matt Williams did. He introduced over the 8 years about 63 bills, and 58 of those became laws.
Matt's a leader who has dedicated his life to making Nebraska better. Matt sets an example. He has set an example for other Nebraskans as to how you should conduct yourself, how we can make this state a better place. And in doing so, he has made Nebraska a better place.
Well, he's just a leader. He and his wife are just amazing human beings, in addition to being great community leaders and great state leaders, and I'm very proud to call them friends.
The most important thing to me forever has been faith, family, and friends. And so I think leaving behind a legacy that I did my best to follow the direction that God pointed me in this world, and tried to do those kind of things and pass that on to my kids and to my grandkids. It's been family for years. So those kind of things, and then of course my friends, and it all happens because of them. And so faith, family, and friends will always be there.
Wow, you know, it's not fair to come up here after you watch the video. Lieutenant Governor Joe Kelly, wife Susan. Joe was born and raised in my legislative district. Mayor of Gothenburg, Berlin Jansen and his wife Charlotte. Congressman Flood, Speaker Arch, Governor Heineman, Director Kelly. I am humbled and honored to be here tonight with this group. And some of the best things that have ever happened in my life have happened in this room and this hotel. In 1997, I got to dance with my daughter right where you're sitting, Congressman Flood, when she was married here in Lincoln, and the reception was here. In 2002, I was selected as, at that time, chairman-elect of the Nebraska Bankers Association, and the guy that became my big brother, Mike Nelson, handed me the gavel for that job, right here. This past June, I got to stand on this dance floor again with my granddaughter when she was married in Lincoln, and our reception was here. Now, I should also tell you, I got to take the Bar Association test in the old Cornhusker Hotel, right? Joe, you got to do that too. So some of our memories are better than others. I would tell you, I have grown up with a set of core values that have guided me all my life, recognizing the importance of people in your success, conducting yourself with a sense of responsibility, and striving to reach your potential. And tonight I sit here and wonder, have I measured up? And I will tell you, every opportunity that I have had the opportunity to deal with is because I've had a whole group of people supporting me. And many of you are in this room tonight. The bankers that are here, the lawyers that are here, the business people that are here, the senators that are here, the lobbyists that are here, the government workers that are here, and everybody else. I call you my wingmen, and we all need people that are going to step up and help us when we need that special help. And to take the time to do the things that some of us have had the opportunity to do, it takes those people to step up and do that with us and for us. And we've all had the opportunity to watch our wingmen. You know, sometimes you've got those people that can't quite step up, they step back. Or you've got those people that step sideways on you. But the majority of us have always been willing to step up. The curse that I've had is I was raised in a family that could never say no. And I'm still having that problem, right, Susan? But we will deal with that as we move forward. I'm excited tonight to have a number of my very special wingmen sitting over here at the table that we have. We have a lot of people that have been and are very important to me. Board members at the bank, Amber, Jennifer, Brett, Justin, Robert, Luke. Did I miss anybody there? And Ruthie, our executive secretary, who has been with us and me as my assistant for now 40 years. I also have a number of members of my family that are here that have always stepped up and been there when I've needed them. Julie and Robert, son and daughter. Son Robert is a lawyer in Omaha. Julie's a school teacher in Gothenburg. Their children, or some of them, Ainsley and her husband Adam. Maddox, who is a junior at Concordia University, and his very special friend Clara. So, and Luke, my son-in-law, who is currently and will always be as long as I'm around, president of our bank. Thank you. When you become a senator, you have the opportunity to hire some staff. And 3 of my very special staff members are here tonight: Jeremiah Blakey, Natalie Shunk, and Dexter Schroet. And I will tell you, thank you. And early on in my legislative career, I still remember the day that Jeremiah put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Oh, my naive freshman senator." Senator Arch, you understand what I'm saying there? I would be remiss if I didn't say something about the apostles. Do you know how much responsibility comes with being an apostle? There's a pretty high level of expectation. And I want to tell you, Mark and John never, ever disappointed. I watched those 2 guys allow the deaf to hear, allow the blind to see in the legislature. My senator friends understand that. Mark delivered not only economic development things, Mark was instrumental in bringing a significant gift to UNMC that created the Pancreatic Cancer Center, where we will cure pancreatic cancer. And John had a habit, it was amazing to me to watch him stand up here and not pound on the podium. John constantly delivered responsible and sustainable budgets. And some of us that the numbers don't come as easy to as others, that was important. And he did that year after year with the Appropriations Committee. He also was instrumental in creating the system that will allow us to have the deferred maintenance at the University of Nebraska that is necessary. Again, thank you, John. Now, you're probably wondering what was my responsibility as an apostle. Well, I was the one that was asked to turn water into ice. You thought I was going to say wine, right? Well, John's the wine drinker, but the rest of us don't quite see wine as the same substance. So when I would text any of my staff and say, we need a little ice, we knew where ice was going. And then I was the one that was responsible for providing the opportunity for daily communion. This honor is so humbling, I cannot explain that. I've had this great opportunity in my life, but it would not have happened for the most important person, and that's my wife. Also, pretty close to this location, a little over 56 years ago, she said yes. She had no ideas how many more times she was going to have to say yes. Thank you for that. I can't imagine life without you, and I hope I never experience that, by the way. In closing, and I got a text message a little bit ago from Natalie that said something like, short is better. Natalie, you're shorter than I am. We live in a world today that is highly polarized. I do not know of any organization that is more important and more influential than the state chamber in helping bringing us together on polarizing issues. I also know of no group of people that are better suited for this than the group sitting here tonight. We have choices to make. You can be a wingman, or you can step sideways or step back. And I'm asking every one of us tonight to step up and accept the responsibility of working together for positive change. We can do this. So tomorrow morning, when you get up, please ask yourself, what can I do today to help somebody? And then be a wingman and do it. Thank you for this wonderful honor.